Tuesday, June 9th, 5:30 here for the Public Safety Subcommittee meeting. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Rourke.
Here.
Council Mercia.
Here.
Council Belanger.
Here.
3 present.
All right, we're here tonight. A couple different reasons. The crime prevention so far going in the city for the springtime, and also the program See Something, Say Something for our Lowell neighborhoods. We're joined tonight by Superintendent Taylor, Deputy Superintendent Ryan, Councilors Leahy, Samaras, Monazzo, and Martin. Also Councilor Kennedy as well. With that being said, we'll start off the meeting off by a brief summary so far of how it's going in the spring months. Superintendent Taylor.
Thank you very much, Councilor, and other members of the subcommittee. I'm pleased to report that so far things, I think, are going in the right direction. The men and women of the department have been doing an exceptional job, I believe, in their efforts to try and curtail the summer violence activity. And I think, in particular, there have been several very good, prominent arrests and seizures of firearms, and very quick work in terms of apprehending people responsible for some of these incidents. And the other thing that I can say is the new gang unit that has been formulated and put out on the early shift to attack this issue, I think has done an exceptional job, and I think it's been very well received by the members of the community too.
And also, recently, Chief, we also had the opening of the substation in
Oh,
Centerville.
yes, thank you very much. Yes, we did. We opened formally the Centerville substation, which is located at the corner of Bridge and 3rd Street. And many of the community members that are behind me were there, and many of the city councilors were there also. I think it was a very good showing of people that were interested in the community, and I think it's a great addition to the Centerville neighborhood and that whole general area. And I think it shows certainly the police department, but from a larger perspective, I think it shows the city councils and the city's support and long-term commitment to that neighborhood. So I think that's a very welcome addition.
And going forward in the summer months, I know we have fireworks season coming up.
Yes.
Going on forward. So hopefully just a continuation of what the police department's been doing previously going forward.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. And Deputy Ryan, when you're ready, has a presentation on the See Something, Say Something from the police department's perspective.
Great. Deputy?
Thank you, Councilor. See Something, Say Something is a program that was developed by the Department of Homeland Security and basically brought forth and instituted in 2010. Essentially, I'm going to show you a short video that was produced in Massachusetts. It's mostly an anti-terrorism initiative, as you would expect from the Department of Homeland Security, in regards to encouraging people to take note of their surroundings in their community, people that will know better what's out of place and what isn't in the immediate area of where they live and work and play. It has taken on a larger role now, and it's a catchy phrase, and people have been using it to expand into other crimes, other concerns, and harmful things that happen in neighborhoods. Anne Marie Page, a neighborhood leader who's here to this afternoon also, will be able to give you some more information in regards to how it can be used even beyond policing, for example. But I think one of the best ways is a short, it's about 4.5-minute video clip. If you allow me, Council, I can play that for yourselves and for the people in attendance. It might kind of give at least an introduction, and afterwards I can discuss briefly what the police department is doing in regards to this before we then speak with Mrs. Page, who can even expand on it further.
Great. Please.
Is that fine?
Massachusetts is home to over 6.5 million people. It's rich with historic, multicultural, and iconic events. Each day, residents and millions of visitors enjoy the vast opportunities that the Commonwealth has to offer. Unfortunately, we know all too well that there are individuals out there that try to disrupt our community with intentional acts of crime and violence. Each of us can help law enforcement and public safety officials prevent these types of incidents by always remembering that if you see something, you should say something. As you go about your daily routine, be aware of your surroundings. If you notice something suspicious or something that's out of the ordinary and just doesn't seem right, you should report it to law enforcement by calling 911 or your local police department. Stay away from any potentially dangerous situation. Police officers are trained to handle and respond to these types of events. Reporting what you've observed can be an invaluable resource to law enforcement officers. What is considered suspicious or out of the ordinary? Suspicious activities or situations could include individuals that show an unusual interest in a facility or location, such as a person taking notes, drawing maps, or making obvious observations of restricted areas. Illegally parked vehicles near an event or restricted location. Any unattended items that are abandoned by someone, may be hidden or placed in an isolated location, do not seem to belong, or is a prohibited item at a special event. Remember, you should never judge someone based on their appearance. A person's race, ethnicity, national origin, or religious affiliation is not suspicious. Instead, you should be mindful of suspicious behavior and situations, such as an unattended backpack in a public place, or someone trying to break into a restricted area. Factors or stereotypes that are unrelated to some type of criminal activity should not be considered suspicious. What to do? If you notice any activity or behavior which seems out of the ordinary, or if you see an unattended or suspicious-looking package, immediately contact law enforcement by calling 911, your local police department, or by alerting a nearby law enforcement officer. Remember, first responders are trained to handle these types of situations. Never take unnecessary risks or try to act as an investigator while observing or reporting what you've seen. Always make sure that you notify the police right away. When reporting information to law enforcement, it is important to share as much detail as possible. Try to observe and remember details such as physical descriptions of the individual, including hair color, eye color, tattoos, or clothing. Descriptions of an item, such as the type of item, the size, or color. Direction of travel of an individual or vehicle. And vehicle information, such as the make, model, and license plate number. Review. Remember, reporting suspicious activities and unattended packages should be based on behaviors that seem suspicious or out of the ordinary. If you see something that just isn't right, say something and follow these important steps. 1. Report it to law enforcement by calling 911 or your local police department. 2. Never take unnecessary risks. When you see something, say something. Reporting your observations can and does make a difference in keeping Massachusetts safe.
As you can tell from the video, this is a good introduction to what the concept of see something, say something is about. And again, there's a heavy bent towards anti-terrorism, which is natural since it did come from the Department of Homeland Security. But several years ago, when we were talking about increasing the police vigilance in the parks, when there was this council invested quite a bit of city funds into trying to upgrade the city park system and get more attendance and utilize it better and everything else. This See Something, Say Something was part of that campaign to try to encourage people to tell us when something was amiss so that we could make the park safer. In addition, one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to basically put a name on something that we've been preaching for years and years. Myself and many members of the Lowell Police Department who have been attending to community meetings and other public events for going back farther than I can remember, have always preached to the idea of if you see something in your neighborhood, you should call the police. There's been many instances, for example, where you know, we've responded to a scene of a house break or something like that when a neighbor would come out and talk about something they saw 6 hours before that they thought was suspicious. And the idea that they were somehow apprehensive about calling the police, or perhaps thought that maybe it wasn't that bad, or they didn't, you know, believe that it was leading to some kind of crime, only to find out later that had they called, it, you know, would have given us an opportunity maybe to intercede. You know, so this is essentially a program that kind of formalizes that. Two examples, just recently we had an example that we were talking about in Pawtucketville, for example. So a neighbor saw something that was amiss in their neighborhood. They saw a couple of suspicious individuals. We stopped them and found a firearm. Another incident at the Ayork Garage recently, where somebody saw somebody in the garage, you know, walking around doing something suspicious, and we found out that there were upwards of 9 or 10 car breaks that had occurred, and we were able to apprehend that suspect. And obviously the breaks had occurred, but you know, when we apprehend a suspect, we can prevent further breaks from happening. So this program is going to be reintroduced with this video. It's going to be brought to the attention of the public once again. We've done it in the past. It will be through, you know, the public, you know, the websites, the social media, and also our attendance at community groups and what have you. I think at this point in time, I believe, you know, we're really encouraged by the fact that, again, in partnership with our neighborhood groups, Mrs. Anne-Marie Page is taking this one step further and looking at other city services as well as the police department, and to partner up and you know, make us aware from the city's perspective of anything that needs attention from the city, including, you know, code enforcement, what have you. But I think it'd probably be more appropriate for her if she's, you know, I believe she's here prepared to discuss that, if with your permission, if she can do so.
Yeah, great, thank you. Ms. Page?
Hello. My name is Anne-Marie Page. I reside at 26 Fremont Street in Lowell, and I am the Vice President of the Citywide Neighborhood Council and sit on the board of the Centerville Neighborhood Action Group. And to our chief and our councilors that are here, and to our neighborhood leaders, thank you very much. But this has been going on for a while, and we're pushing it now more than before because some people are misbehaving more than they did in the past. So, it's your neighborhood. You're either going to be a good neighborhood, and you're going to be a good neighbor, or you're going to be a bad neighbor. Good neighbors take care of each other. You all know emergency is 911. Children in kindergarten know emergency is 911. Your other police number is 978-937-3200. You should have it taped someplace in the house, easy to get to. Like the film said, if something doesn't look right, it probably isn't. So, the police department, as well as the fire department and fire prevention, they need our eyes also. They need our ears. So that's why we say to you, see something, say something. It's important. And say it now. Don't wait 6 hours later. Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning. If it's wrong now, report it now. Call it in now. And if it doesn't look right, doesn't sound right, doesn't smell right, you know it isn't right. So we want you to be a good neighbor, to take care of each other. See something, say something. We have the flyers. They have everything on them. You can pick them up in the neighborhood department in this building on the ground floor. And we just want to make sure that everyone has them. You should have one in your car. You should have one in your house. They can't be everything. They can't be everywhere. They're risking their lives for us. The least we can do is pick up the phone and say something. We thank you for what you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Page. Chief?
Thank you very much, and Anne-Marie, that's terrific. Thank you very much, and Deputy Ryan, great job. I think the one key point here I'd like to emphasize is that this is really an effort to partner and collaborate with the neighborhoods, with people that live in these neighborhoods and own businesses. The key component here is to have the public be our eyes and ears in the community and work with us and get us the information when suspicious activity is occurring so that we can get there quickly and take the appropriate action. One thing I think we're doing a better job of, and we'll continue to do this, is our use of social media and some other technology like reverse 911. The one that we use here in the city is called Code Red. And that is, the deputy brought up a really, I think, an outstanding example recently in Pawtuckaville where we were experiencing some house breaks. So what we did was we very quickly were able to get that information out to the community using social media and reverse 911, the Code Red system, to the residents that were living in that immediately affected area. And it worked just as it's supposed to. The residents were hypervigilant. They were looking for suspicious activity. And, they reported it, and the very next day, within 24 hours, we apprehended suspects that we think were responsible for that. I think it was actually within 12 hours, responsible for that activity, and seized a firearm off of one of them. So clearly, those individuals were up to no good in that neighborhood. I can commit to you that we will continue that collaboration and continue refining our efforts to get this information out to the neighborhoods so that they can partner with us and provide us the information to keep them safe. So,
Great, thank you, Chief. Councilor Mercia?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this is a great campaign. See something, say something. I know that your biggest cheerleader is Anne Marie Page and the Centerville Neighborhood Action Group, along with the neighbors. This is a great partnership between the police and the public and the neighborhoods, because we know that you can't be everywhere, and we could be your eyes and ears, and that's a good slogan. This is a good campaign. So much so that I think the lady that was at the carnival there some time ago saw a 17-year-old with a gun in his pocket. She must have thought, Anne Marie Page, see something, say something, and she did call the police, and they apprehended the 17-year-old kid and confiscated a gun. So this is a great program, and we can't do it alone either. As a city councilor, I'm not in everybody's neighborhood. I'm in my own. I only know what they tell me, and when they tell me that they need a sign that on the bridge on Roper Street that says, keep the cars off it, they saw something, said something, and called me. It works both ways, to the councilors, to the neighborhood, to the police. This is what it's all about. There's more of us out here than those thugs that are causing havoc in our otherwise tranquil community. So we need them to be our eyes and ears to tell us, the neighborhood groups, the police, what's going on out there so we can help you. Help you to help yourself. And this is what it's all about. See something, say something. This is great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Mercia. All right. Councilor Blanchard?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For starters, Deputy Ryan, thank you for that informative video. I had no idea that See Something, Say Something started as part of Homeland Security. It's an anti-terrorism campaign, if you will. I thought this whole time it was started by Anne Marie Page right here in the city of Lowell. But it is something that's very special to this city. As Councilor Mercia stated, the police cannot be everywhere, and we need to stress to the residents of Lowell, we need your help, okay? Especially as we enter the summer season. I think the timing is perfect. It's getting warm out, and that's when usually there's a lot of activity, if you will. And now is the perfect time to be rolling this thing out, because their neighborhoods, there's too many streets and alleys in the city of Lowell to cover by what we have for staff in the city of Lowell. As a tremendous job that, Chief, your men and women are doing out there in the field. I think as of late that, when I read in the newspaper, here on the radio of a crime or a gunshot, it's very often followed up from an arrest. I think you guys are red hot right now, so to speak, and you're doing a great job. But we can never not be doing enough. We still want to improve, and I know that's your sentiment as well. And this is one way of doing it, by asking the public, please, this is your neighborhood. It's in your best interest to keep your neighborhood safe, is it not? And we need your help. We're asking for it, that please report immediately when you see events. You're not going to get in trouble. No one knows it's you. You can remain anonymous. And then there's no repercussions to picking up the phone and calling an unlawful act or something that you perceive to be a little sketchy, if you will. So I am behind this 100%. Let me know whatever I can do and then this council can do. I think this is well received, and a big thank you especially to all the neighborhood groups citywide. They all worked very, very hard to get this. So we just in the Highlands last night, and there was brochures of this. Nancy Judge rolled out the information to all the partakers at that residence, and they're all very valuable to us. And if we all work together, we can make Lowell a very, very safe city. I have no doubt. So I love it. I love it very much. So let me know what I can do. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. At this time, any other councilors up? Councilor Leahy?
Thank you. Good information here tonight, good video. Want to thank the neighborhood groups for coming down. We have representatives from Pawtuckaville, Centerville, the Highlands, downtown, and I think I saw Belvedere, but part of this campaign, public safety with the neighborhood groups, this is what we need to be doing. See something, say something. With this information going out through the websites and social media, it was also brought up that if we could add something like a tip of the week for the next 10 weeks for the summer, that would be a good idea. When we're getting this information out, we could have some sort of tip that goes with it. But this should be the norm, not the exception now. We should encourage all the citizens that if you see something, say something. And as we've said with the neighborhood groups, that we all have an obligation to check on our neighbors to the right and check on our neighbors to the left. And if everybody did that, we'd be a much safer city. So I want to thank the neighborhood groups for everything they did, the police department, the council. So I think this is a great push for the summer season, and I appreciate it. And obviously, it should go on all year round, but it's kind of kickoff for the summer. And again, thank you for all the hard work that everybody put into this, and we'll work with getting that tip of the week out. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comment? Any neighborhood groups want to come up to the podium?
Hi, Deb Forgione, the chairman of the Pawtuckaville Citizen Council. I just wanted to have 6 points. I'll be fast, though. I wanted to personally thank Superintendent Taylor. You guys did such an awesome job for us in Pawtuckaville. And what you also helped do is make us a community again. And this see something, say something. It requires all of us and working with the police department, but it also, at the end of the day, made us feel like a community again. And we have almost 700 friends on our Facebook page right now. Right after that, we got 56 more people. So what that did is it helped to build the community, have us all feel that we're part of taking care of each other. And so over the next 10 weeks in the summer, we were hoping the summer of See Something, Say Something over a 10-week period, if you could also have that film run on LTC, maybe once a week, once a day. Could we have a tip come out once a week, either through the police department and call it the tip of the week? Maybe on we know that every Tuesday or every Wednesday it's going to come out, so everybody will know, and we can all share it on our Facebook pages. The other thing about that See Something, Say Something, when you caught those thugs in the neighborhood with loaded guns, when you think about on Chase Avenue, loaded guns in Lowell, it really, a shockwave went through the neighborhood. We couldn't believe that was happening. But then we find out within 2 weeks that the reason they were probably in our neighborhood is because they were selling heroin out of the barber shop on Mammoth Road. So it went hand in hand. And that was the part about See Something, Say Something, because they were in the barber shop selling heroin. And that went unnoticed, except that I did see in the paper that you were doing surveillance. So it didn't go unnoticed. There was something that tipped you off. You were watching the barbershop, and 2 weeks after you caught the thugs in the neighborhood with the guns, and you closed down the heroin dealer. So it was a much bigger picture of see something, say something. It was a domino effect. And so with that said, we really look forward to working with you. We really appreciate all the efforts that you've done. And I also wanted to just mention that during this 10-week period, there's also, August 4th is the National Night Out, and maybe Sandy McNamara can give us an update on what's going to go on in August. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Yes.
Susan Purdy, I'm co-chair of the Lowell Downtown Neighborhood Association. My address is 172 Middle Street. Thank you, sir, and women and men of the police department. You've done a wonderful job for downtown. We put see something, if you see something, say something on all of our media. We use a lot of social media downtown. I just talked to Mike Breda from Jambra. They also do too. We've been doing it for several months now. And I like the tip a week. That would be great to highlight that. I'd like to add one other suggestion. I just read the licensing board agenda for Thursday. And we have all of the applications, it looks like all of them in, for outdoor music for the summer. And perhaps would like to suggest either the council or the police contact the business associations. And for all of those who have the outdoor media, and for any other way you can think of doing it, ask their musicians or DJs to at least once during each evening do a public service announcement. See something, say something, here and in your home, whatever village or town or city you live in. And I think that might be just another layer that might be effective and helpful. And again, thank you very much for all you do. Please let us know if there's anything else we can put on our websites or bring up at our meetings, and we will do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. In fact, speaking of Jambra, they're having an event on, I think it's tomorrow, on Wednesday. They're having from 4:30 to 7:30 at the corner on the street on Jackson Street at Marsden. They're having a big event with a lot of face painting and all kind of. Would you like to come up and promote that?
So I'm Michael Breeder. I represent the Jambra District. I don't live in Lowell, but I work for a local business here. And I'm president of the Jambra Association. Tomorrow night's the Jamboree. It's from 4:30 to 7:30.
Right.
There's entertainment. The students from the charter school will be entertaining. We have 2 other bands coming on afterwards. Then there's a lot of other activities, family activities, vendors, so on and so forth. So it'll be a good time. It's free. It's open to everybody, so we hope people will join us.
Thank you,
And that's
Mike.
on Jackson Street, right where the charter school is.
Right, and you do put a lot of time and effort into that. It's great every year.
It's
so
a fun
thank
time.
you
Thank
to your
you.
organization to sponsor this beautiful event.
Right, thank you. We're
Thank
glad
you
to
so
do
much.
it. Thanks.
Thank you. Sandy?
Hi, my name is Sandy McNamara. I'm president of Centerville Community Coalition. And what Debbie was talking about is another piece to, I believe, CSA. And on August 4th, the whole United States celebrates National Night Out. Any town, city can do whatever they want to promote, and it's all about bringing police department, fire department, ambulance, community, business, all in that one night. We commute everybody, as well as we have added on to, for See and Say, is the school department. And this year, we're going to have the 3 schools, Greenfield, Robertson, and McAuliffe, are all going to take part. Last year, the Greenfields did violin, and I'm assuming they're going to do it this year, but Robertson's going to do their chorus. It's just an awesome night. Everything is free, food's free, information, every table that's there that will give out information as far as what goes on in the police department, what goes on in the fire department. It's just so much that comply, and maybe you can help me into that one night. And I think it's great for everybody in the city to participate. It's a fun night from the kids from 0 to 60. I still want to challenge anybody in this room to the bouncy house. And I think that's about it.
Well, we
Awesome.
can't say 0 to 60 because that would exclude me.
Oh,
See
sorry,
what I'm
Rita.
saying?
All
So I
right.
think
We'll
we'd say
boot it up.
0 to 90, okay?
Well, that's a good, awesome.
And so what I wanted to say is, where is this event this year going to be?
The event's going to be in St. Louis's schoolyard. There's 6 acres there, and they give us the lot free. And because of so much that complies into the night, we need that type of space.
Sure, that's going to
And
be a
getting
great
bigger.
event. And of course, you're going to promote See Something, Say Something, right?
Absolutely. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
that's beautiful. Thank you, Sandy, that's wonderful. August 4th at St. Louis Schoolyard, National Night Out, so that's great. Yes, Chief?
Counselor, there'll be other locations in the city, and we will publicize that well in advance. I believe it's going to be the Morey School. Sorry? Should be the Morey School, and in the past, they've also done a portion of it at the outside theater in the North Common Park. So I anticipate it will be those 3, but we will send that information out via social media, so.
Okay, good, so we'll look for further details on that.
exactly.
Thank you. Deputy Chief Ryan?
One of the things is, Anne Marie Page, when she presented she did her presentation, she showed us this pamphlet. And if you look at this pamphlet, it has on it not only issues directly for the police, but it has on it with tree lights, for example, mailboxes, fire hydrants, benches, dumpsters. It has all different city services that can be contacted should you see something and who to say it to. And in spite of the fact they don't appear to be police or public safety related, they are. I mean, the city manager's office put this together, and as we know, if a place looks good, it's fixed up, it's kept up, it tends to attract less of the crime element. It tends to look like it's not a victim, even from a place standpoint or location. So, I mean, I think as part of the program, we want to encourage not only calling the police, but we want to encourage people to let us know about things of deterioration in the neighborhoods, whether it be sidewalks or what have you, because it's all really dovetails together. It's all one thing in a community.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Belanger?
Thank you, Councilor Mercia. I would like to echo Deputy Ryan's comments that See Something, Say Something does not only pertain to crime, it's cleanliness, it's lighting. A lot of things factor in here. If you see barrels overflowing, Susan, on downtown, for instance, make the call, okay? If the light's out on Bridge Street, make the call. It's that simple. This doesn't only pertain to what we would perceive as an illegal act or activities. It's a lot of different things that improve your neighborhood. If it's clean, it's lit, then it's going to be, chances are it's going to be a lot more safer. So that's what I wanted to reiterate from Deputy Ryan's point. I think it's an excellent point that, no, it's not just a matter of illegal activities here. It's a lot more involved that we want you, the residents of the city, to report, to be involved in. So thank you for that point, Deputy. Thank you.
Thank you. Also like to recognize our Register of Deeds and historian Richard Howe Jr. is here, sitting there the longest time, and I just happened to, I saw you like a half an hour ago, but I just wanted to say that. City Councilor Bill Samaras?
Thank you. No, I just want to thank the neighborhood people who are here tanight, the representatives, because I've attended a number of neighborhood meetings, and I think the residents of the city, those who have not attended these meetings, should be aware of what's going on. I think the bonding that's been going on between the police department and the neighborhoods are wonderful. Chief Taylor has been at many of the meetings himself, with all of his cadre of officers attending those various meetings. But what it's all about is truly working together, and I think people should realize that what's going on in their own city and try to become active with the various neighborhood associations, because I really see a change in the city. I see a change in the relationship between the police department and the public. I see a lot of honest dialogue going on, a lot of sincere dialogue, and it's done because of trust. And when you build up trust, you have a good city. So I want to commend the officers, Chief Taylor and his staff, and the neighborhood leaders. You guys are doing a great job. And Mr. Damaris is here, who attends all of those functions. And just like last night at the Highlands Group, where he talked about if there's any questions you have, contact my office. Never worry, just contact my office, email us, and it'll be resolved. And when you do that and you build up a type of trust like that, the city can succeed, and it is succeeding. So you're all to be commended. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I will reiterate the fact that Michael Damaris, the Division of Neighborhood Services Director, is here, and I know that you're so faithful. You attend all the neighborhood group meetings. You are a credit to the city. I didn't mean to slight you. You do a great job. Corey?
Yes, Counsel. You know, one more point before I guess we adjourn, but to Susan Purdy's event about getting the word out through entertainment acts or whatnot. Now, we have throughout the city message boards and reader boards that are partners with the city, such as along Route 3. You'll see a big message board there. That is, the city is a partner there. They owe us free ads every year. That might be worthwhile. Along Route 38, Prevention Insurance is a very community partner. I'm sure he would be glad. So it's messages are like that across the city. I think you make a good point, Susan, to I'll let the assistant city manager know that to use this as far as our marketing efforts throughout the city. I think it's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Any, Councilor Leahy?
Well, thank you. I just wanted to reiterate that Mike Damaris from Neighborhood Services is at all the neighborhood meetings, and he's a part of this See Something, Say Something too. So as we were saying, it's not just crime, but it's anything you see. So I just wanted to make sure. He does a lot of work, so thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further comments from the public? Having seen none, I want to just thank all the neighborhood groups for coming. And, you know, time is a very precious commodity, and yet you spend a great deal of time and effort to make your respective neighborhoods so wonderful. You ought to be commended because you are the leaders of areas that we can't see and be the ears and eyes, and you are there doing that each and every, not month, but every day. So thank you to all the neighborhood group leaders. Thank you to the chief, the deputy chief for being here. Thank you for everybody coming. It is very important. If you see something, say something. I just wanted to thank you all for being here. Motion to accept this report as a report of progress.
Motion to accept as a report of progress.
Okay, thank you. So we will adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Second. Thank you for being here.